Hello everyone. Let's create a demo of a strategy pattern in Rust. And rather than me waffle on explaining it, let's just build the strategy pattern. So I'm going to make a new repo. We'll do it in main. Make full screen if I can. And right, hopefully the writing's big enough. So the first thing we want to do is make a trait. And I'm going to do an example based on two different types of payment. So we're going to look at using, I mean, you can have more than two, obviously, but I'm going to be doing credit card and PayPal just to show how this works. So process trait, we'll call the trait process. Inside that trait, we will have a function called payment. I'll have self, and also we're going to pass in amount, which is something you wouldn't always have something else here, but in this instance we need it. What do we return? Let's return a string, keep it simple. I've done this a few times now, so I kind of, yeah, I think it's safe to say I've learned it in its basic format. So no notes, no ChatGPT. Right, struct do credit card. What would you have with a credit card? You typically have a name, so we'll do that as a string. Let's mix it up and we'll just put in expiry, which can be, we'll do string for now as well. And then also we will have struct, because we're going to attach, we'll do an import for each one. And then we've got a slightly different function because credit card will have a name and expiry. And a PayPal payment would typically have email address. So be string as well for the sake of this. Right, so next, let's do the import. We want to implement our trait process for credit card, and then we'll do the actual payment, which will be taken amount. We want to return a string, so we'll use the format macro. So we're going to return name and the expiry here. So we need two lots of parentheses. We'll return the name, so that's self.name. And we want to also return the amount. Now the amount's enough 32, but because we're formatting it, that's not a problem. And that should be all right, yeah. Next, we'll do import process, but this time we'll do it for PayPal. Now this is called the strategy pattern. If you're interested in patterns, then there's a lot of material out there. I can't remember, but this is I think from memory this is behavioral or categorized as behavioral. You get different styles of patterns, categories of patterns. Again, we'll just format sorry about that. And we just want to return, we'll return the email and the amount. So we'll do two lots of parentheses. Let's add some text in it as well. So we'll do and self.email and then the amount. And now the amount isn't self because we're passing that in. And we'll do similar here. We'll say fact, we could do name, paid. We could also put expiry in here. Let's do that. Name, expiry. So then we just add that in here after self.name. So we'll do self.expiry. And for some reason it's removed amount, which we need to put back in there. Right, I'll just make it slightly smaller. So you see all the full code there. Right. So all this is very well, but we actually need to do something conditional based on not the state, but something conditional based on which payment method has been chosen. So we need to do a struct, call it payments. Call it payment process. And we'll do state, and the state that needs to be a box because we don't know the size of it. So down, and then the trait name, which was process. And we just need to close that. And then we need to this is the important bit. We need to do an import, which is import payment process, which is the same name as what we've just built here. And in here we need a new function, and then we need a payment function. So we need to instantiate the payment process, and then we actually need to do the payment. We'll do it in 2 steps. So new, and then so new, what are we passing in? We need to pass in the state. So let's call it S, and S will be of type box dynamic process. So that's what we pass in, and we need to return with new function. You need to return self. Do self. Or do we? No, we just need to create it. We don't need to return anything. So we can do self dot state equals S. And was that not happy? Cannot find payment process in this scope. Oh, because we haven't created it yet. My bad. Okay, good. Let's format that a bit better. Okay, so we're in a position now where we can, we just need the actual payment function, right? Then do payments. We need to take self amount, which we made F32. Let's return a string. So this is where we actually call we need to call this on self.state.payment. This is always the bit that catches me out, and you think, well, this is going on recursive, but it's not because we're using a box. That looks okay. Cannot find a value amount because we've typed it wrong again. Right, okay. So let's actually use it. So, okay, so to create a credit card, we need to create a Okay, so to create a credit card, I need to create a new payment process. So let's pay and process equal, and this is where we will do payment process new, and then the state needs to be what we did just above. So it's a credit card in a box. As you can see, okay. And that's not printing anything because we didn't print anything here. So we need to, let's change this to return a string. There we go. Right, good. I just need to allow unused. So this is like you create the credit card or the payment. So we would also, let's do it. So we've got it once. So it was Bob, expiry 11/27, paid £330. Let's just show the actual usefulness of this. And we would do let PP, so that's the PayPal, equal PayPal. It'll be email moo@moo.com. So that's creating the payment. Then we need to do the payment process. I know we can do shadowing, but just for the sake of it, I'll call it 2. Payment process 2 equals payment process new. And then we need to pass in the state again, which, remember, it's a box. New PP payment PayPal. That's probably a bit confusing, but you get the idea. PP is PayPal, not payment process. And we'll call it res2 just for clarity. Equals payment process 2 do payment, because we've built the do payment method inside the payment process impl, and then it will be £50, no pence, $50 if you're in America, or €50 if you're in Europe, or 51 if you're in China. Oh, no, I just got a quote in the wrong place. Sorry about that. Right, there we go, good. And why is it not liking that? Oh, because I didn't convert it to a string, did I? To string. And why did I put that in quotes? I don't know. There we go, all good. So name somebody with the name of Bob with a credit card expiry 11/27, paid £330 somebody with an email of moo.com, paid £50. To be able, we could obviously tidy that up a bit. Let's just go up here and why was that? Why did it? Oh, we need to do the What is it? Dot two, is that it? It's chopping off it's, I need to save it, maybe. Oh, I need to do it here. I think this is where we need to do it. So it's yeah, that's better. Yeah, you see the you do the colon dot two. We do it up here as well. So that is a demo of the strategy pattern. If you've done the state pattern, you'll notice that it's very similar. Obviously, this the state pattern is a state machine almost, isn't it? You've got a choice of it can either be state one, state two, like traffic lights, so on. This is not quite so tied. You can have many instances of a credit card, and that has no impact on PayPal payments. If you've got 1,000 credit card payments, that has no effect on whether somebody can or can't do a PayPal payment. Whereas with the state pattern, if the traffic light is red, then it can't be green. So, as I say, learning Rust. This is all about learning Rust, and we're looking at design patterns increasingly. In future, we're going to be looking at phantom markers and blanket traits, and looking at the difference between blanket traits and trait bounds. So if that's interesting, subscribe, comment, and like, and all the usual things that YouTube people say. So until next time, thanks for watching.